I'm gonna admit, I have a bad feeling about this. Today we're going to be using the cast iron fluted cake pan, this part of their collection, and all these items are inspired by the vintage cookware that, you know, maybe your grandparents used or something like that. So let's see what's inside. The beautiful cast iron look that all the Lodge products have. Nice and heavy. I'm not used to baking cakes in heavy cast iron ware. So we'll see how it turns out, but the fluted edges are really pretty. It's already seasoned, so hopefully that makes for a good release of the cake. Also in here, gives you a nice instruction book on how to care for it. Comes with, some good fun cake recipes, and then a nice little page in the back for tips and tricks, and then a nice little card. I think today we'll do one maybe traditional recipe inspired by this book. So we'll do a chocolate cake and then maybe something not so traditional. Maybe a roasted chicken sitting right here in the center of the pan. So stay tuned. Okay, so I have made a chocolate cake batter. I used the recipe from the Lodge book and I added my own little twist, which may or may not have been a good idea, so we'll see. In the tips and tricks, it says, you know, this is pre-seasoned, but to use about a tablespoon of butter to grease the pan, or you can use the baking spray that has the flour in it, but you definitely want to be sure to get in all these grooves. And then don't forget the inside of the pan. And now we're going to pour the batter in. All right, so now we're going to take it to the oven and hope for the best. This has just come out of the oven and it smells amazing. I just want to dive right into that little bundt pan. So it has to cool for like 10 minutes till it starts to pull away from the sides. Yum-mo. Here we go. I'm going to admit, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh. Wah, wah. My recipe addition of chocolate chips may have been a mistake. I probably also should have used the baking spray like I wanted to do, but I'm gonna go find out what happened. And I think we're gonna try it again. Second attempt, here we go. So here's our secret weapon, baker's joy. Be very liberal here. Now, if it sticks to this, then I quit. I also remade the batter and left out the chocolate chips here just for double insurance to see if this cake won't stick. Here we go. So I'm heading to the oven, take 2. This is exhausting. All right, we have our second cake. This one has risen better, so I don't know if that had anything to do with what we sprayed the pan with or not. It looks really good, still smells delicious. It has been cooling for about 15 minutes or so, so it has released a little bit from the edges. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, I felt it. Yes! That is amazing. All these little fluted edges look so pretty from overhead. And look how clean this pan is. Here's the tip. Definitely use a cooking spray that has the flour in it for baking and spray liberally. We're going to let it cool completely, so I think I'm just gonna let it cool overnight. We did it. The cake has cooled, and then I drizzled it with some ganache that is spiked with a little Kahlua. And we're about to dig in and see how this looks on the inside because it smells delicious. It looks like it's gonna be perfect, so I hope it tastes perfect. All right, now we're going to try the not so conventional way to use a bundt pan and to roast a chicken. So this is kind of like the beer can chicken, but instead of the chicken sitting on a beer can, it's gonna sit in the bundt pan. So it'll get crispy all the way around. That's the idea. I've never made this before, so we're gonna do it together for the first time. You have to cover this hole with some foil because you don't want the juices from the chicken dripping down into the oven or it'll catch on fire. So I'm going to put in a bunch of vegetables in here that are going to roast with the chicken, so they'll probably get some of that chicken drippings, and then hopefully they'll get a little bit browned and yummy. This is a one-pot meal. I'm not even going to dirty another, bowl to toss all the vegetables in. I'm just going to do it all right in here. Carrots, onion, fennel, and some potatoes. Drizzle with some oil. I'm going to toss it all together right in here. Ta-da! Look at that beauty. Crispy skin, nice and golden. And down here, they have all of this good chicken savory flavor in there with the herbs. One complete dinner in a Bundt pan. This looks so delicious. I can't wait to dig in. And you know, I like this little cast iron Bundt pan. It's gonna be fun to do some more experimenting in. I use my cast iron skillet all the time for, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I bet I can come up with some more uses for the old Bundt pan too. Maybe a monkey bread, something like that. I'm a fan. I love it.